Yo, guys, welcome back to this week's episode of the Famous Chili Podcast with your hosts, me, Ari. I'm joined with Rishi and Nishk. Our fourth co-host, Prem, could not make it today because he's sick, so hope he's feeling better. So yeah, looking forward to another episode, guys. This was a big week for us, right? We had our first week of consistent uploads, right? What do you guys think of it?
Solid.
Yeah, I think this has been amazing, man. We put a lot of work into this, and first of all, I just want to thank everyone who has supported us the past week, who has watched our videos, who has watched our YouTube shorts, our TikToks, everything. It means a lot to us, because we're a small podcast. So every view, every like, every subscriber, every
the double comments.
Shout out
Cody.
It means a lot.
Yeah, it really does. And thanks to everyone also who has spread the word about it, reposted on the stories. That really means a lot to us.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Yeah.
This podcast means a lot to us, right? We're four guys separated across the country. I mentioned in our last podcast, Ari's down in Georgia. Nish is in Chicago or around the Chicago area, Urbana-Champaign, really far from Chicago, actually.
Yeah, you can't claim
like
Chicago.
3 hours.
it's like
I can't claim Chicago. That's like 3 hours from there.
And then we have Prem up in Michigan. So 4 guys just trying to stay connected through a podcast. It means a lot to our brotherhood, really. And I think it's really big in this era of self-improvement to have like-minded people around you who have just as much ambition as you do. Because what it took to start this podcast was one text. I texted Ari podcast ? And he replied down. That's it. We started. Podcast was started based off one text. And that means a lot more than what it looks like, because I wouldn't be able to do the things I do without them pushing me. Like, even in the senior year of high school, I only met these guys or became close to them in the senior year of high school. So the people I surrounded myself before that, they weren't as encouraging. I wouldn't say they weren't as smart either. They were not as smart.
And what if they're watching, man?
It's okay, man. It's okay. But the people I surrounded myself with were not good. They cared about popularity only. They did all the things that everyone told them not to do. And, and I guess that just wasn't for me. But then when I found these guys, it really pushed me to do more than what I was capable of doing. Cause seeing them succeed just made me want to succeed, and it just pushed me to do more. And I just think that's really important. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Never again will I create a presentation to the scale, to the beauty, to the amazement that we did senior year of high school with AP stats. That even though it didn't really matter for most of us, because it was just AP stats, and we were already done with our grade by that point. We were done with our grades.
Excused from the project.
It was just fun. It was just just a great overall thing. And I know we keep going back to it. We talked about it last podcast, but having that friend group, keeping in touch with each other, even if it's just an excuse for us to talk to each other for an hour a week with good audio with a microphone instead of just on FaceTime, it's still great. It's the small things that matter when you have this type of stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's extremely important. First semester, I feel like we barely talk to each other that much besides text in our group chat, and even that, it wasn't the same. It's never gonna be the same as actually being in person, seeing each other every day at school, and I agree. This last week doing the podcast has been so much fun. Also just because we're constantly talking now every day, even when we're not recording, we're constantly talking about the podcast, trying to figure out things to do. And I definitely love that we're doing this. Gives us a good chance to keep connected,
Yeah, it's huge. It's actually really huge for us, because I don't know. I think the 4 of us, even though Prem's not here right now, I think we just work well together. I think we've always worked well together. And I think seeing you guys succeed just makes me want to just work harder. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we're a pretty smart group, right? We do pretty intellectual things. And, just having a podcast, being able to connect, man, it's like one of the biggest. I look forward to this. I look forward to filming this every single week. I look forward to talking with you guys. It's nothing different than a normal conversation that we have, in every Tuesday conversation. We're talking about football, or we're talking about some dumb topic, or it really doesn't matter, because any chance that we get to talk with you guys, it's huge. It matters.
Yeah. For sure.
Rishi, you mentioned something before we started. What are you eating right now?
I'm eating breakfast guys.
Yeah.
So the
Breakfast
shortage,
of champions, man.
the breakfast
The
of
breakfast of
champions, yeah.
champions.
Because let me tell you this, I'm getting starved here, man. The freshman 15, it's a myth. It doesn't exist. The freshman negative 15 is actually what exists. Okay.
No,
I
yeah.
started out the year.
I don't know, man.
I started out the year in the summer at like 163. I'm weighing in at 163. I weighed myself yesterday. Just guess how much I weigh. Just guess.
Wait, how much were you before?
163.
163. My guess, 148.
That's one pound.
1 pound. Just a singular pound.
148.
148.
What do you think?
Negative 15. Negative 15.
I'm gonna say 152.
No,
I'm
yeah,
150
realistic.
flat. I'm
Yeah,
155.
realistically,
I lost
yeah.
13 pounds since coming here.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's just first of all, the
13 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a lack of food, bro. They don't have vegetarian options, or they do,
Oh,
but
that's
like
true. Yeah.
it's like average vegetarian options. I'm not getting my protein intake. Okay. All the food here is extremely calorie dense. Like extremely calorie dense. I'm eating a lot of carbs. I'm still losing weight because I'm playing sports, working out, whatever. Like I'm not getting enough food consumption to match how much exercise or physical activity I'm doing, and that's caused me to lose 13 pounds. But I don't know if it's different for you guys. Let me know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
don't know.
was
Yeah.
different for me. When I first got here, it was pretty different. It was pretty similar. I wasn't able to get a lot of food in. It was difficult. But then once I slowly started like catching like a routine to eating food, which I never thought would be like a thing in my life, routining my food. Now I have like, oh, if I know like this week's meals aren't going to be great, I'll just like pack some stuff up when I'm in the dining hall, like leave it in my fridge, stuff like that. And it's like difficult, but eating like 5-6 spoonfuls of peanut butter before I sleep is basically the way I keep my calories in now. Like and like one of my roommates, Ishan, like thinks it's atrocious to be doing that, but it's the only way I can do it, especially like as a vegetarian. There's not enough calorie dense options that are also like protein full for when I'm in the gym.
Bro is dry scooping peanut butter.
Can't knock it, man. You gotta get the game.
Gotta get the calories in somehow.
Yeah, man.
Dude, just like take some bread at least, please, bro. Like I
Nah,
beg you,
no
just
carbs,
eat it with
man.
some
No
bread.
carbs. Bulk season.
Pure
Bulk
protein
season.
diet, man.
Like just peanut
As
butter.
I
man?
promise,
Really?
I promise it's not as bad as it seems.
No, that sounds amazing, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not a big fan of peanut butter, to be honest.
What?
Okay. I'm a weird guy. Like I get that remarks like that. I don't like ice cream. I'm not a big fan of peanut butter. Okay, I'm not a big fan of cake. I don't like sweets. Like I'm weird that way.
But he likes M&Ms for breakfast.
And Rishi doesn't like
Alright,
cake.
man. If you have food, if you want to send me food, please do, because I'm hungry. I really don't want to eat
I
these
feel like it's
M&Ms
been completely different for me at my school. Like I haven't had a problem too much with food. Like, yeah, the food's not great, but like I don't know, maybe I'm not vegetarian like you guys said. Maybe it's like different because of that. So like
No, I mean,
it's definitely a big change though, because like the last 4 years, I didn't like meal prep, but I knew what I was eating every day was pretty much going to be the same. You know, I had my like meals kind of made ahead of time. I knew what I was going to do. And now coming here, I have no idea. Like when I first got here, I was like, shit, my diet's going to get all fucked up being here, not having like this like healthy options, lean protein every day. But like after like first semester, I got kind of like into the like right schedule of it. Like Nish said, like you just get used to stuff, you know, but I don't know. The food isn't like horrible here, you know, like one of our dining halls, like, which unfortunately is the one like closest to us. It's Willage. It's so shit. It's literally so bad. But like the one that's best is like all the way on the other side of campus. So I'll literally be going there most of the days just to eat good, you know?
yeah. I mean, I think it is a product of the school you go to partially, because I know like my roommates who aren't vegetarian also complain about it here, but when I go back to Jersey and I'm going to Rutgers and I eat like Rutgers dining hall food, which is
Livingston, man.
Livingston.
Wow.
I haven't had Livingston dining hall. I've had Bush dining hall, and then they got like diners. You guys got like Kilmer's and Woody's where you can like get like buy stuff. They have basically the way it works at Rutgers is one meal swipe at some of these, like they're basically like convenience stores with like food and like snacks and whatnot. But each meal swipe is worth $15 of like $15 there. So you can buy $15 worth of whatever you want while you're there. But that honestly is like so nice compared to what we have. Because the way my meal plan works is I have 12 meal swipes a week and then 15 dining dollars. And then there's another one, which is like 10 meal swipes and $45 dining dollars. but it's like significantly more expensive. But I
Wait,
basically
45
on a
dining
weekly
dollars a week?
dining dollars a
It's a
week.
weekly
Yeah.
basis thing.
It's a weekly basis, not semester.
So you cap it at 12 every week.
Yeah. So your dining dollars, your dining dollars will carry over, and they'll only carry over to a maximum of double what your plan is. So I have the 15 plan, 12, 15. So I have 15 dining dollars every week. But if one week I say I have 15 this week, and then I get my 15 next week, I'll cap out at that 30. And then if I go another week without spending them, I won't get any more. So 30 is basically the limit, but it'll carry over week to week other than for that.
Rishi, yours isn't like that, right? Like mine's by semester. Like,
Yeah, mine's by semester as well.
Most schools are by semester. UIUC is just
wow, that's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of
Stupid.
weird.
I get like 235 meal swipes per semester, and I get like 105 snack swipes, and then we also have something that's called Grubhub dollars. So basically, Steven's partners with Grubhub.
So lucky.
Basically, so all the ordering of the food that we do, like, so we have something called UCC here, where they have like mini like homemade restaurants. So they have like an Italian place, Mexican place, stuff like that. So we order from Grubhub, like through Stevens basically, but we're also able to get food from like retail restaurant, like Taco Bell, McDonald's, all places like that. And we have like $230 a semester to order from Grubhub, which is really cool, I think.
Yo, I don't know what you're complaining about food
man.
for.
That's crazy.
You'd come live here for 1 month and you will go back losing 13 pounds in a month rather than a semester.
Wait till you find out how much we're paying for that food plan, though.
Okay, that's true.
That makes a difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to put like the exact number out there, but it's around 5K.
It's literally on the internet.
I think it's on. I don't think you have some like top secret information.
It's top secret, man. It's top secret. Stevens is watching me, man. I can't be exposing them right now.
Damn.
Yeah. No, but the Rutgers dining halls are crazy. Henry's Diner is so nice.
But that's just like the same as you spending your dining dollars on this restaurant that's on campus.
We don't have restaurants on campus.
Oh shit! Then what do you have your dining dollars for?
The dining dollars are solely for like those convenience stores.
Oh my god!
We basically have a Wawa, but not Wawa. It's like fake Wawa called like Terabyte, and it has the same stuff. It has like like candy, and then it has like chips and snacks and like some fresher foods, and then they also have like a little little area where you can get like French fries, burgers, pizza, quesadilla, stuff like that. But it's all kind of just mid food. It's not that
like convenience
great.
store food like that.
It's like it's like convenience store food. It's literally what it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Besides the food, though, how are you guys like first semesters? We just kind of started our second semester. We're a few weeks in. What are your overall thoughts on like first semester? How'd it go?
First semester was honestly so fun. First semester of college and end of high school, senior year, that combo is like an unprecedented combo in my life. I've never experienced a period of like some number of months where it was just all the time, always doing something, always having fun. It was great. And like, I don't know, the first couple weeks of the first semester were great. And then school started, you start going out a little less, you start like, locking down. But even then, my classes weren't that hard. A lot of intro classes, a lot of like, I had an easy gen ed. It wasn't really bad for a semester. I only had one slightly difficult class, which was Calc 3, but we like clutched up. So we're good on that one. And this semester is a lot more difficult, but first semester was honestly so fun. I went to Chicago for a weekend. Yeah, it was a great overall semester.
Interesting. I think I can agree. Like ever since senior year summer, like the Wildwood, us hanging out like all the time, man, all the time. That was like one of the greatest summers I've had in a long time. But as soon as I got to my first semester of college, so the vibe here at Stevens is a little bit different than the vibe at other colleges, because as everyone knows, we are a very small college. And a lot of the things that we like, the frats are not good here, like stuff like that. Like there's not like a move in Hoboken, right? The move is to go to the city. That's the move. Or else the move is just, chilling with the boys in the room, messing around, goofing off, joshing around, joshing around. But yeah, but the thing is, like, the one thing I experienced, like, ever since, like, coming in, like, especially in the first semester, is, like, that feeling of, like, success, or, like, opportunity. Like, I come I come to Hoboken and I come by the city and I feel like, wow, there's all these like opportunities just like right in front of me. And like all I have to do is just like take advantage of them and just grab them. There's so many things I experienced in my first semester of college, which I haven't experienced throughout high school a single time. Like I went to like these different like events in New York, like big crypto events or like an innovation fair or like, places where I'm able to network with people who are like more well established than me. And I don't know, I think that was like probably the greatest part of coming to college. And I think it's really huge.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. Coming to college is like, it's a lot different than I expected. I feel like everyone had the idea coming into college, it was going to be a lot of work. And like, I had the mindset that I was just going to nonstop be grinding. And like, to the extent that was true, but like, I feel like compared to high school, it actually is kind of easier in terms of classes. I feel like classes is like just one part of what you have to do now. Now, most of the work you really have to do if you're trying to like grind out is outside of class, whereas in high school, it's kind of different,
Yeah.
like here, I spend most of my time like outside class. It's all like recruitment, working on projects, things like that. Because like classes, we don't really have like bullshit work anymore, right? There's not like daily homework that you have to do the next day that doesn't count for anything. It's like you get one homework a week. It's given the first day. You can do it whenever, and there's a test like every 3 weeks. So I feel like once the key is to just like get into a good schedule of like what you have to do, when you're going to do it, and like it just all smooth sailing after that.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like coming here, I honestly didn't even have expectations coming into college. I didn't like think about what college was going to be like. I knew like people were like, oh, it's super fun, but it's also easier than high school if you make it easier. Like, you gotta, plan it out kind of. But I think it's exactly that. It's easier than high school if you want it to be, harder than high school if you want it to be. And making it harder than high school is when when you're pushing yourself to like be better, like being in the gym for an hour and a half, plus doing all your schoolwork, plus doing, like extra stuff like recruitment in the kind of dying tech industry right now. And all that stuff is like, you don't have to do all those extra stuff, but doing that and like showing up and, being there for that is like what makes college compared to high school. Because in high school, you're in school for like 6-7 hours a day. Then you come home, or you even have like sports after school or clubs after school. And then you come home. It's already like 4 or 5 o'clock. You have a few hours before you like, sleep. You got like 5-6 hours before you sleep again. And at that point, it's like, you don't have that much time every day versus college. The amount of hours you spend in school in college is equivalent to like 2 or 3 days of high school. Like the amount of days you spend in classes, maybe less sometimes, depends on what your classes are like. And so it's honestly what you make of the time that you have remaining, given that like empty schedule, basically.
No, like I legit never thought I would get more sleep in college than I got in high school. Like Prem literally called me the other day on FaceTime and he's like, dude, you look like you've been actually sleeping well. Like you don't have bags. I'm like, damn, I guess that's true. Yeah. But, yeah.
Compared to your falling asleep in your books. Yeah. Just passing out on the
It was an
textbook.
iPad. It was an iPad.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He's trying to absorb all the information through the iPad.
Through the iPad.
It was a good semester.
Yeah. What were your favorite experiences from the first semester? Like memorable moments.
Okay, this is gonna sound really stupid, right? So here, like our group chat's called Bowling Cramp, right? So honestly, I just love like
repeat that.
Bowling Cramp, like bowling and cramp.
Like the throwing the ball at pins.
Yeah,
bowling.
like the sport,
okay.
and then cramp, like a cramp in your leg, or like in your hand.
Okay.
All right, so during like week of welcome, right, we're all just kind of trying to like figure out our group and everything. We started getting like this huge group of people accumulated, right? And so it was like the second or like third day that we got here. We all went bowling, right? And so when we were bowling, my friend Haroon, he threw the ball and he bent his hand kind of weird, like when he threw it. So everyone was just joking that he had like a weird hand shape when he did it. But then later when we were leaving, we went to take his B-reel on this bench. And so we had like 15 people huddled together on this B-reel on this bench, right? And we asked this like random stranger to do it who was like extremely antisocial and seemed so panicked and nervous to take the B-reel. He's like taking it and he didn't know that the camera turns back on him like when he takes it. So in the picture, everyone said throw up the fours. So, but Haroon threw up his four like this. He completely bent every one of his fingers. and it was just so funny to us for some reason. So we called that the bowling cramp. So now in any picture, we don't throw up fours, we throw up like a bowling cramp. And like everyone just found it so funny because also the picture just flipped around and had the guy's confused face in the B-reel. He was like terrified. And so we tried to offer him like payment, but we opened our wallet, there was no money. So we just gave him like a Great Clips coupon after that. We were like, that should be enough, man. Go get a haircut. But yeah, I don't know. To me, things like that, like the really stupid,
stupid
the
stuff
friend group makes is just like the funniest shit to me, you know?
No, I agree. We did some pretty stupid stuff. I remember, I have a couple of like really, really nice memories from first semester. One was a Chicago trip, which I can talk about after this. But one of them that was like kind of stupid like yours was, I think it was like the first or second, third night that we were here, third or fourth. I actually don't even remember, but it was within the first week. And everyone was going out. And I remember taking the name tag off this one girl's door and flipping it around and then drawing like all of our name tags on all of our dorm doors have like a little box, and then they have like a little UIUC like thing. So they'll have like a picture of a building, or they'll have like the alma mater, which is like a statue we have. And so I flipped it around, redrew that like box and the alma mater. And then I wrote Raju on it because we had this joke that like we just go up to random people and be like, oh, your name's Raju, right? And like just mess around with them like we remember them from somewhere. But then we ended up taking that picture and going around all of campus. We knocked on half the doors in the building. We went around to frats. People were chanting Raju in the frats, and we took this picture around. And I have my little like 12 megapixel camera. And we took pictures of every single person we met holding the sign like a mugshot with the name Raju on it. And so now I have a video with like 100 something people just holding the name Raju. And like, these are people that we would just like mess around with. Because like those first couple of weeks, because you don't know anyone, you don't like, nothing's going to matter in a week from now. No one's going to remember your face. No one's going to remember your name. We'd go up to people and we'd just be like, oh, Raju, we met you at Psi Epsilon, right? That frat. And they were like, we realized they'd have like a response, one of like 2 or 3 responses. They'd be like, oh yeah, I remember you too. And we'd never seen that dude before in our lives. Or like, they'd be like, nah, I have no idea who you guys are. And they like try to be friendly with us and like get to know us. And then the people who would just like walk away scared, like we're about to like hurt them or something because we're just going up to them like we know them. But yeah, it was like a fun, memorable thing. And now that sign is hung up on our dorm, Raju.
Bro, you got to mint those pictures, man. New NFT project. Get all the
NFT
Rajus.
Project.
They're
Get
minting.
all the Rajus.
They're minting.
That would be crazy, bro. The Raju Rastogi project, man.
The Raju Rastogi. Yeah, that's where it started from. That's where it started from. Man. 3 idiots. Raju Rastogi.
Get the Raj tokens, man.
Yeah.
Dude. All right. If you make I'm investing in Raj, guys.
Yeah. Yo,
whoever's listening
Raj,
to
man.
the podcast, guys.
Trying to pump and dump Raj.
Since we're all 3 of us are finance bros, we're gonna tell you the next cryptocurrency to buy. And I want everyone to put on their headphones, listen closely, guys. Raj coin is the future. Let me tell you why. Okay. It is backed by our very own podcast host, Nish Patel. Okay. All right. We have almost $70 trillion in funding behind this coin. Okay. We can make as many coins as we want. We have an unlimited supply of Raju coin. Okay. And our value never goes down. If you were to look at our chart, it goes like this.
Right now you're backwards to us.
This.
No, yeah, the chart moves backwards in time. We go backwards in time.
I also just to clarify, Raj coin is apparently a real thing. Do not buy it because I said to. I just looked it up. There is a Raj coin. There is a Raj coin. Yeah, this is not financial advice. No.
We cannot give you financial advice.
Well, we'll have to make our token something else then.
Ras coin, Rastogi, RAS.
Can we get a fact check, Ari? Is a Ras coin a thing?
Is Ras coin a thing?
RAX?
RAS.
Oh, RAS. That's definitely a coin, man. RAS. Yeah,
Yes,
I see on Coinbase RAS to
wow.
USD prices.
All right, screw it, man. It's the Rastogi coin at this point, bro.
We'll find something.
Rastogi.
Yeah.
RAT.
Gotta mint that.
Yeah,
Dude. The NFT marketplace is huge, though. Are you guys what?
I don't know about huge anymore, man. Like I do believe in it, but right now is not a good time for crypto, you know?
No. Personally, I can tell you it's not a good time for crypto.
I
How much
think
you lose, Ben? How much
I
you
think
lose?
the biggest thing was just the novelty of like crypto and then NFT coming, or NFT specifically. Crypto, there was that big jump in like, what was it, 2018 or something like that? I don't know. The first time Bitcoin blew
Man. It
up.
was
I don't know.
Dogecoin, Bitcoin.
Was
Yeah.
it them who
like,
hurt you, Rishi?
no.
Who hurt you? Was it Dogecoin?
It's actually Bitcoin.
The moment NFTs blew up, like within 2021, I think it was just the novelty of them made them like blow up. People were like, oh, this is gonna be a big thing. But we haven't had like real use for them yet. You know, they've been kind of like art, but like blockchain technology is very useful. You know, it's like
100%,
secure transactions. You know, there's a lot of like features in Web3 which doesn't exist in Web2. You know, when we have the blockchain technology, you can like use it to a greater extent. We just didn't with NFTs. And so I think the novelty of the technology is what brought a lot of people to like the crypto market. But the moment that like crypto starts getting a hold in like, you know, companies that already are built out, companies that already exist, you know, Facebook, Google, or Meta, Google, like, you know, Microsoft, if any of these companies start to really like incorporate blockchain technology, then that's where I think it'll start like picking up. You know, people are going to be like, oh, this is here to stick around. This isn't just like, you know, this is not just bored apes. We're not just looking at apes and keeping them on our phones. Now this technology can be used like for real. And even though I think like our NFTs are still going to stick around for a long time, because I mean, they're bound to, I think there's a lot more where this will go. And I think that's like the biggest thing about NFTs, honestly, right now.
I think because right now, like NFTs were just like, at least like in the mainstream, NFTs were just art, you know, like you mentioned, really like it's about digital ownership, you know, it's like, how do you prove you own something? You know, in the future, like, I don't think you're going to need like an actual physical contract to do something. It'll be in the blockchain store, like a smart contract of your ownership, you know, that'll be like your authentication for something, you know,
Exactly.
and that is technically an NFT, but right now NFT is just tied with like pictures, you know, like I can screenshot that, like it's not the same, you know.
It's not the same. Because I think the one reason that NFTs and crypto blew up, actually there's 3 reasons. Okay. It was, first of all, the efficiency and the high returns that you would get from cryptos, like maybe even overnight as well. Like it's like unimaginable returns. Like you have thousands of coins and, you know, like predicting which coin is going to blow up. But when that coin does blow up, it blows up big and it gets you big returns. But I think one of the bigger things as to why crypto blew up was its like security and privacy. In between, like, because like your contracts are basically like anonymous and they're not like, well, they're not government regulated, but obviously we don't know that for sure. But, you know, I just think that's why crypto is big. And I think crypto is here to stay. I think crypto has its role in our economy for the next like 5 to 10 years. And I think more and more things are going to get incorporated along with crypto, like the new Web 3.0 movement. We're fairly new in Web 3.0, you know, like we're barely like grazing the surface as to what we're able to achieve with Web 3.0. And I think Web 3.0 is going to be the future of our economy. And I think that's going to take the place of crypto at some point.
I'm not 100% sure about what I'm about to say because I'm not in the club at UIUC, which was doing this, but I know there's a club called D-Lab and they're working with some partner with some hospital. And I think they're using blockchain technology to transfer patient data. So like, you know, they can keep control of patient data without letting it, you know, because that's obviously private material. So I think the hospital and like D-Lab included are working on some stuff to work to like make those transactions for patient data for the hospital to, you know, I don't know, hospital to hospital. I don't know what it might be, but all I remember is that like they are using like, you know, blockchain technology. So I think that's like those are like those applications that once we start seeing these type of stuff pop up, like for real, I think that's when like, you know, we'll know that it's sticking around for sure. Yeah.
100%. Dude, I think if you're not investing in crypto, you're a Sigma male. Okay. I'm going to quote Andrew Tate off that. You are a Sigma male. Invest in crypto. Get your foot in the door. Get good monetary management. Learn how to invest. Learn how to save your money.
With his 17 wealth creation methods.
Buy his course.
You in the real world, Rishi?
Guys, join the Discord. We're selling the courses. You'll understand how to use Rastogi
you know
coin.
what? Yeah, buy the famous chili course, man. We're gonna teach you how to make some money online.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Bro, 2021, bro. Actually, now that you mentioned it, Andrew Tate, it's crazy how much he like took the world by storm in 2022, right? Like who heard of him really before that? Like
Nobody.
In 1 year, he became the most famous man in the world by far. Like it's actually crazy how like regardless of what he says, to do that is really impressive. Like he knows how to play the game of like the internet and better than people who actually do this as their living. That's not even his job. And he like it's actually mind blowing how he did that.
I mean, honestly, it's like you can see how it happened. Controversial things spread like wildfire, and that's just how the internet is. You know, the moment someone hates on something, there's like two sides to it. Someone's gonna hate on it, someone's gonna love on it. And so when you say something controversial enough to where a big group of people are gonna hate, and then a big group of people are gonna follow you, then you get both sides commenting on your posts, sharing your posts. And like, even if one group is hating on it, they're still commenting, sharing, you know, they're pushing those posts up. And so like Andrew Tate saying the things he said, regardless of like the way he meant it, what he said it and he knew what it was going to do. He knew it was going to blow up. He knew exactly what he was doing, but then he didn't know he was going to get arrested like that. So don't buy pizza like that, guys. Don't make sure your pizza's not in your pictures.
If anyone actually believes that he got arrested because of a pizza box, do you guys think the governments are that stupid? They don't know
the government knew he was in
country.
I think it was just an excuse.
A plane's going to enter a country and they don't know about it, but the pizza box, they're watching his TikTok, but don't know where he actually is. Like,
no, yeah, that was stupid. It definitely was not the pizza box. They were just waiting on like a reason to give a reason. Yeah.
You know, when you say like TikTok, you know what's funny or actually really crazy? Is the fact that like he didn't upload a TikTok himself.
No,
he doesn't have a TikTok account. He doesn't have anything.
That's what's so like insane about it.
Yeah.
Like, he boosted his viewership based off other people posting about him. But that's also the problem as to why his image is also tainted, because his image is what did. His image is what everyone wants his image to be. Yeah. So if Ari doesn't like Tate, he can take his clip out of context and then just absolutely trash him on the internet. Yeah. And then he'll have 500, 600, 700,000, maybe millions of people watching that and then be like, oh, well, he said that. Well, that means he's not a good guy, right? And I'm not saying that I'm a follower or a fan of Andrew Tate. I just want to really clarify that because I don't want anyone to get the misconception of that. But all I want to say is that a lot of the time he's wrong, but some of the time he's right. Anything
he said about like being motivated, working out, and like hard work, I fully believe that's. I believe exactly.
No, yeah.
And also one thing, regardless of his views, he's a great orator. Like he can speak so well, and like the way he puts things like is really impressive. But the only problem is the things he's saying is just not always good, which is why it's also so dangerous because he's sometimes saying really bad things in a way that is very compelling. And that to someone who's not going to take the time to think about what they're being told, they'll easily just like suck it up and listen to it, you know, which is also like part of the big problem.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Like the biggest thing about it is he'll say like deep down the thing he's trying to get across, the idea he's trying to get across will be like, be a good person, you know, push yourself to be the best person you can be, you know, get in the gym, get your money up, all that type of stuff. But then he'll also go and say like, you know, women can't drive. And then like, he'll just throw things in and then like it upsets people. And obviously it should, but then it's like at his core, he has some of the right ideas. And then he throws in a bunch of like over the top details, which are completely like BS stuff. And so then he becomes that controversial figure because one person, like Rishi was saying earlier, Ariel clipped the part where it was like, oh, he doesn't think women are able to drive or he thinks women shouldn't be driving. And then that's going to blow up because it's a terrible like take or terrible Tate take. And then on the other hand, we have like Rishi who will clip a part where he's like, you know, you should grow your garden. You should be the man. You should like expand yourself. And then that'll blow up because, you know, it's a good thing to be saying. It's like, you know, become a better person. And then you have these two sides to him. And then people just see that one side that they follow Tate with. Like people who see Tate in a bad way will keep liking the bad TikToks, you know, and they'll see that. And then Rishi, who posted the good TikTok, will like push that on his side. And then it creates that controversial division.
Oh wait, I just thought of something. You guys both have like read and watched Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
I just realized he's literally Voldemort. You know how Voldemort created the Horcruxes, right? So he was literally able to survive by splitting himself
Himself into
into different
different.
things
Yeah.
that could not be
Yeah.
destroyed. Andrew Tate does not exist on TikTok. He split himself into all these random like little kids who are gonna suck up his content and put it out there for him. So you literally
Yeah.
can't take him off. Like when they canceled him and they like took him off and deplatformed him, you still saw him everywhere.
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 Like
Then he went to
it's just
Rumble,
insane.
and then there was like that whole thing.
Like when does he actually disappear is my question. Like does he ever disappear now? Like he's right now being like charged and is like in trial right now, I think, right?
Mhm.
I'm
So
not even sure. He got sent to the hospital at one point too, I think, right? While he
yeah,
was
apparently
in.
that was like a routine thing. Like they sent him like a little bit too early or something. I don't know too much about that, but
Yeah,
like
I don't know either. I kind
but
of just
that was a little while ago. I think he's fine.
yeah,
But
he's good.
yeah.
And this is on claims of like sex
No,
trafficking.
but that's
No,
the thing.
sex
That's the thing.
trafficking.
The claims are different every time. I feel like I've heard sex trafficking. I've heard money laundering. I've heard every time someone says it's a different claim.
Organized
But
crime as
then
well.
there's
Yeah.
also organized crime. But then at the same time, like a lot of people are saying, again, I don't know if this is 100% true, right? But like some people say that the people who originally were brought in to like testify that he did those things said that they didn't happen. You know,
Yeah.
so like it's really interesting to see like where this goes.
I think the biggest thing is like the controversy that he's like brought upon this Andrew Tate like sphere of influence is honestly just like too many people take a side without, just accepting the overall idea. Like Tate's not a completely bad guy. There's people way worse than Tate, and then there's also people way better than Tate. And it's like there's two sides to like his story. And even though he's a great like motivational speaker, he also says some stupid stuff. So I think people always jump to like, oh, I hate Tate or I love Tate, but then it's like Tate's not like he's not like a single faceted dude. There's so many aspects to his like personality that we see online. Like you were saying, he split himself into these different personalities. Like Voldemort split himself into Horcruxes, that so many people jump to like, oh, we need to charge him right now. He needs to be arrested. He needs to go to jail. And then there's other people who are like, oh, he's the best man alive. Tate should be like the leader of the world. And so there's like two ideas. And I think that like that split is what like, creates that like tension between it.
You know what that divide is? The divide is the masculinity side versus the feminine side. Okay. And I think what Andrew Tate did, and it's actually really bad for our world, is that he created that divide because he was bringing upon these topics. He was bringing upon these controversial, like things that he's saying, which are then like dividing men and women. The whole thing what we've been trying to do since like the late like 1950s is equality. Right. Equality for all, because equality is one of the most important things in this world, to be able to coexist men and women, to be seen as equals. But what he did is he brought upon ideas of divide. So now you have two sides. You have your masculinity side, which is arguing, in favor of Andrew Tate. They're saying, yes, men are better, or like whatever Andrew Tate says. Nothing that I agree with. But then on the other side, you have feminists seeing the rise of toxic masculinity, and then now they're fighting back. So now both sides are now pushing their viewpoints against each other, which is causing like this crazy divide, because it's come to the point where like it's either you're with us or against us.
There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground anymore. And it's really bad. If you're against them, you're screwed, because like I've seen TikToks of people trying to like push feminism, right? And be like, this is the only thing that matters, females are the only thing that matter in this world. We are the superior beings. We matter more. We should have more opportunity. We should get paid more. Men shouldn't be on the same level as us. And then the men see that and they're like, what are you talking about? We are the superior beings. And now the divide has caused so much controversy. And that's like, it's ripping apart, first of all, it's ripping apart social media. All right. And we already lived in a soft world as it is right now. Right, people get offended by this, like the littlest thing. So, I'm just saying this divide is just not good for humanity, in terms of coexistence between men and women.
100%. It's really just all about actual equality. Everyone has a different idea of what being equal means. Like so that's the problem. No one can actually like we don't know when equality is achieved because there's no real definition of it. That's the problem. You know, obviously we want everyone to be equal, but how do you define equal? You know?
Yeah.
But guys, I got to be honest. As much as like Andrew Tate was like crazy in 2022, I don't think he was like the biggest controversy of the year. There's one man. There's always one man who's, when everything seems to be going, everyone's hate targeted at one person. One man's always there to come through and bail them out, and it's Kanye West.
I'm already mad. I could see that answer coming.
Kanye West.
Before you even said it.
When it comes to controversy, no one does it like Kanye. I'm telling you, no one does it like Kanye.
You think he's more controversial than Andrew Tate?
100%. Last year,
How?
yes. Bro said he likes Hitler.
Okay, and Andrew fact that he said that women shouldn't be anywhere but the kitchen. You know, like how is that any better than what Kanye is saying?
Here's what I think. I think controversy is caused by, you know, teetering both sides. When you have that on both sides, then they start fighting against each other. No logical, reasonable, sensible person is following Kanye's words. No one is like, yeah, I hate Hitler too. Let's go hate Hitler together. Like that's not happening. That's no one's doing that. But there are people on Tate's side which are splitting it.
Wait. Do you mean like Hitler?
Or that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nick, what are you trying to say?
Yeah. Don't clip that. But basically, I think that's the difference between Tate and Kanye. I think Kanye is so far gone that no one is like creating controversy. Everyone's just like staring at him, like from a distance. They're always like looking at him, like, what is that man doing? Where is he going? Why is he doing this? Like everyone's confused by what Kanye is doing. No one understands what's going on there. Tate is like a different story. People are like, you know, on both sides. It's like tensions are high. You don't know what's happening with his trial either. Versus Kanye is just in the middle of nowhere doing whatever in like the sphere of ideology.
Also, realistically, Kanye has a much bigger platform. Like, yeah, Andrew Tate is the more famous one right now, but overall, I do believe Kanye still has a much bigger platform. But at the same time, Kanye is just kind of like, he's lost so much credibility in the last few years, man. It's actually really sad to see because, like, we don't know what's really going on to him. Like, people say he's bipolar, and then recently, I think he said that he isn't actually bipolar, but then he's claiming that he has some form of autism, I think. But who knows if he's even telling the truth, like what's going on, because other people around him have said he's bipolar and now he's saying he's not or something like that, you know. And it's just really sad to see, man, because he's such like a genius when it comes to music. You know, he
made graduation. He made graduation. Like that's
college dropout, late registration. Like these are he changed music. Like I'll be honest, the type of music I listen to more like old fashioned, like old school style hip hop. But like Kanye, like he created the current sound. You can't deny his influence on music. Like his sampling, his production, he completely changed the soundscape. Him and Lil Wayne together, I'd say, changed the soundscape and image of what a rapper is today. You know, whether you think it's good or not, that's what they did, you know? And it's just sad to see someone like who used to be like so amazing and people used to idolize him take this bad of a turn, man.
Yeah.
I just think it's just due to like a downfall of events, you know, just like it's like one thing, like one bad thing happened and just led to like the next bad thing. And it just never stopped for Kanye really. And I just think he has like a wrong way of saying things, you know, like I think like he wants to mean one thing, but when he says something like people take it in like a completely different term. Like obviously like the supporting Hitler line, absolutely outlandish. Like I'm reading what he says. Right. And so like he says he idolizes Hitler because of the way that Hitler was able to gain power. Right. And
that's scary, man.
Yeah.
That's not a good idol for idol. That's a very scary. I didn't know he said that.
That's very scary. He admires Hitler's way of using propaganda to motivate people. He's fully aware.
Is that actually what he said? Like he actually said that? Like
that's what I'm reading online.
His ability
right
to get power.
Yeah. So he liked his ability to get power. He believed that the Nazi party achieved great things for the German people. Like he has like this thorough obsession with Hitler as like a societal figure, as like someone who played a large part in a lot of big things that happened in World War II. And I just don't know what he's doing, man. Like, to just idolize
He's
something like
dropping an
that.
album, bro.
There has to be something like mentally wrong with him for him to say that. And I don't mean that as like criticism of him, but I mean like truly, like he must have some disorder, because for someone to just switch just like that is like crazy.
I have a question for Ari though, because you are the most like in tune with the music space out of the three of us. But do you believe that he's gonna drop an album soon? Because I saw like a bunch of TikToks and stuff where it's like every time right before an album drops, he always creates heavy levels of controversy. I don't remember like what's happened in the past completely, but
no, he did it with Donda. I'm pretty sure he did the same thing around the time of Donda. He did something before, get all the eyes on him, and then Donda comes out. You know, I do believe eventually something will happen. He will put something out soon, I'm sure, because otherwise, like, and that's the worst part, man. Like, you're doing this all for like attention, which, again, I'm pretty sure like people have said he is bipolar, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard people say that people who are bipolar have said themselves that they love the feeling of getting people riled up, like. Some people have said that it's almost like a high, I think, like that they feel off attention or getting people riled up like that. And so that could be what Kanye is doing, or maybe Kanye actually does believe this stuff, which if he does, it's even worse, you know? But yeah, I do think there's a good chance he's getting an album to drop soon, you know, which is just horrible. Like, that's not the kind of marketing you want.
No, but I am confused though, because like a lot of this stuff that he's been doing started quite a while ago, honestly. Like, I feel like this whole Kanye downfall started.
It's been a long time coming, man. He's been doing this for years now.
No, I know, but like I'm talking about this recent like episode of whatever he's gone through has been a few months in the making now. So like if he's dropped, I feel like now he's less in the media sphere than he was like 2-3 months ago when he first started saying the stuff about Hitler. So I don't know if what he's like planning, if he is, but if he is saying all this stuff to get like attention, he's missed his mark.
No, but the thing is, he hasn't missed his mark. He got his attention. He got what he wanted.
Yeah, he got the attention, and now the attention's off of him again. I don't see that many posts about Kanye like I did 2-3 months ago. Like end of December, November time, there'd be so many things about Kanye. Oh, and then there's the Kanye is missing thing a few weeks back. That I don't, or not even a few weeks back, like over a month back. I don't see that type of stuff anymore. And honestly, I don't know if at first I thought he was going to drop an album too. But now I think it's just been too far from the initial.
That's the point. That's the point, though. You don't want to be right after it. If he dropped it at the peak of that, people aren't going to listen to it. There's going to be boycotts and everything. You think if he says one day, "Yo, I love Hitler," and then the next, don't clip that out of context. But like,
every single one of us has said that. There's going to be a clip where it's just Rishi saying that, then me saying that, and then Ari saying that.
If he says that, and then the next day drops an album, people aren't going to listen to it. The whole thing is to just over time, Kanye is in your mind. We're talking about him right now. So he's still in our minds. The whole point is just people have him in the back of their minds. You know, the whole point is just to build that attention. He's obviously not going to drop it right away. But I mean, look at what happened with Donda and Donda 2. People still bought it. People still listen to it. People saying it's album of the year. I mean, that's the whole nother story. But like, it's.
I generally do not think it's album of the year. I'll tell you what album of the year was.
100% not.
I'll tell you what album of the year was. There's only one album.
Last year?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
There's only like 1 or 2 albums that really got me as hyped as I was when I listened to it. All right. And one of them was Metro Boomin's album. Okay. Just this. I know you care to disagree. I know your pick, Ari. I know what your pick is.
We know Ari's pick. Yeah.
We know what your pick is. So you can make your case for it right now. But Metro Boomin, like the story behind his album, the way he was able to transition between songs, you know, every song was a banger in that album. Like I have most of his songs in my playlist. Okay. I have like a lot of his songs. Okay. And I just don't think there's any other album that matches up to it last year. I'm gonna be honest.
Nish, do you agree with that?
No, I'd agree to some extent. I think that this year, okay, I remember we talked about like albums when we had our Christmas party for a bit,
about this a little bit. Yeah.
But at first I didn't like fully realize how many albums actually came out this year. almost
Dude,
every top
2022 was
was a
amazing
year for music. Yeah, not I didn't like comprehend how many people actually ended up like how many top artists were actually dropping stuff this year. But I think honestly, because there were so many, album of the year is such a hard pick. And I'd honestly go with like songs of the year rather than album of the year, because every single album had some really great songs. Like you had Creepin' and you had Superhero.
Creepin' was a good song. I like Creepin'.
Yeah, on Metro's album, and then you had your Drake drop. You had 21 and Drake like that. Like there were so many great songs that came out this year that like every album was up there. And I think songs become like the question and topic because every album is competing for that spot, you know?
Okay, I think there's like a certain amount of albums that really stood out more than others. I don't mean to cut you off, but like if I were to list some, you know, Metro Boomin, right? Kendrick Lamar is like, was it Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers? Mm-hmm. Denzel Curry released an album. Did Nas release an album?
Amazing album. Nas's album was amazing.
Yeah,
Nas's album. Can I just say this? How crazy is it? I don't know how much you guys know about Nas, right? But like, how crazy is it that Nas is the best rapper of the 2020 decade? He's released 4 albums this decade, and all of them have been contenders for album of the year each time.
100%.
Like, I don't know if you guys listened to KD3 or any of the previous King Diseases or Magic that came out this decade, but like, how crazy is it? Nas is, in my opinion, the best rapper of the decade so far. Like, that is insane. Like, and I'm here for it, man. I love that Nas came back and he's still doing his thing. That was actually like my most listened to album of the year. I don't believe that's true though. Like, I don't know. I think Apple Music like messed up on their thing. There's no way I listened to, because Apple Music Replay came out like 1 month or not even a month, like 3 weeks after KD3 came out. And it said that was my most listened to album, which is just not true. Like, I'm pretty sure Kendrick's album I listened to like so much, and that came out in like May. There's no way I listened to KD3 more than the Kendrick album in 3 weeks.
I feel like Spotify Rewind is like never right. It just doesn't feel right to me.
But like speaking, okay, since Rishi mentioned his album of the year, so Metro Boomin, I think his production's great. He's always been an amazing producer. I do agree his ability to transition is amazing. It's just not for me, man. Like, it's just not my style of music. I'm not really into trap, you know. That's my only thing. I can see the appeal for the people who do love trap. I can see why it's an amazing album. Again, just not my thing. And also, Rishi, you're saying like there's a big story behind it. What's like, is it actually like some big conceptual album? Because I did not, from the songs I've heard, it does not seem conceptual. But like you said, there's some story behind it.
For me, it was more like for the transitions that he had between the songs.
Okay.
But if we're talking about like, sorry, I know I'm gonna cut you off, but if we're going back to Nas, man, dude, Nas is an amazing rapper. 100%. One of my favorite albums is like Illmatic.
Dude,
Stillmatic,
man,
great album. The one, which one did he release this year? It was like KD3. King's Disease.
KD3, yeah.
Yeah, KD3. Great album, man. This guy, like, he just keeps dropping like bangers back and forth. And actually, Ari, you're kind of the reason I got into like old hip hop. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, you started showing me Benny the Butcher. You started showing me Nas.
My God, bro. I could talk for
Johnny B's Caddy. Like, dude,
Ari would go
off.
Yeah,
I know. His songs are in my playlist all the time. They're on repeat. Yeah. I know almost all the words of all those songs now. Like, Ari, like, is actually like, he's like, him getting me into old hip hop is the reason I started listening to J. Cole, because J. Cole kind of has that same sort of vibe. And I think maybe I have like 40 J. Cole songs in my playlist right now. I'm in the top like 0.05% of J. Cole listeners in like 4 months of listening to J. Cole. Like, he is completely like my favorite rapper right now.
J. Cole has 2 songs, I think, in my top 5 for Spotify, which honestly, it was No Role Models and
classic
Middle Child, I think was the other one. I don't have my Spotify out, but I think it was Middle Child. But like, I don't even remember listening to Role Models is definitely higher. I think Role Models is like 2 or 3, but Role Models was like, it's a great song, but I don't remember listening to it that much. Given the fact that me and my friends make jokes about it all the time, like we always had, you know, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. We have that written on. We have a mirror in our room on one of our closets, and in the corner with expo marker, it just says "R.I.P. Uncle Phil." Like, you know, we have that. We have that sitting there every morning. You wake up, you kind of see it in the corner of where you go check yourself out in the mirror, see if you look good, and it's like it's just there. It's just there. R.I.P. Uncle Phil. But I don't know how J. Cole got into my top. He's great. Don't get me wrong. He's great. I love him. I just don't remember listening to him that much. But honestly, I'm glad that he's there. Deserves to be there.
So since we were talking about album of the year, right? Rishi said Metro Boomings. I'll maybe give it a chance again, see what I think. But like for me, it has to be Kendrick. But this is a very tough year.
Kendrick was
album
good.
of the year. I will put Kendrick's over Nas, and Nas I'll put him at 2, just because Kendrick's was a conceptual album. You know, each song was meant to be like a different therapy session, and the first half was split into him being in denial, last half him being more in like accepting of his own problems, which is why like at the beginning of Count Me Out, which is where the album switches to the second half, he says like session 10 breakthrough, like they're finally getting through to him, which is a lot like what actual therapy is. You know, it's not going to be so instant. So I just think it's like so beautifully put together. Other albums I think I have to give massive props to. Conway's album, God Don't Make Mistakes, was amazing. Beautiful album. Absolutely beautiful album. Conway and the rest of the Griselda, man, so amazing. I'm a little iffy about West Side Gun, man. I can't deal with the boop, 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 boop every like 2 minutes. But Conway and Benny, they're legit, man. They're here to stay. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Benny's album, Tana Talk 4, amazing. I'll put Conway's a little bit above just because again, Tana Talk 4 was like a mixtape. It's less conceptual, but amazing songs. And I think also like this isn't a rap album, but I want to give a shout out to Quadeca's album, man. Do you guys know Quadeca?
Wow, Quadeca, really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, this guy I've been following him for years back from like YouTube and stuff, but like he's completely transitioned his music. Like it is beautiful. He's completely stopped YouTube. He's pretty much full-time like music maker now. He produced the whole album by himself. And this thing is beautiful. This might be some of the best production I've ever heard. It's not a hip hop album. It's alternative. And it's so beautiful. The whole thing's maybe the best concept album of the year. It's all about him, his ghost after committing suicide. It's his ghost. And it's called I Didn't Mean to Haunt You because his ghost is physically haunting people, but also his death haunting and leaving an impact on the people in his lives. And it's actually an amazing album. I think it's really beautiful. His voice is mixed low into the production, so it almost acts like an extra instrument. You know, it's just amazing.
You'd put that over Kendrick's?
No, I'm not putting it over Kendrick's.
Conceptually, Kendrick's is crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. Conceptually, it could rival it. It could rival it. But as an overall album, yeah. I will. Kendrick's is way clear.
No, Kendrick's album. I think that was one of the albums I completely forgot was even like released this year. Kendrick's album. Yeah, because it was just when we were talking about it during Christmas, it was just it was a minute ago, and I just like completely it slipped my mind that it was released this year. Like I thought it came out 2021 or something, because I've listened to like some of the songs like enough to where I'm like, oh, these have been here for a minute, like United in Grief, Purple Hearts. Like I've listened to all those songs enough to where it's like, oh yeah, that was a while ago. You know, I've heard that so many times. It's whatever. But it literally just came out. When in 22 was it? Was it May? Oh yeah, May. Like, I mean, obviously that's kind of earlier in the year, but still, it was like, I like completely forgot. And the moment that you were like, oh yeah, Kendrick dropped 2, and I was like, oh shoot, yeah, that's a big lineup because you got like a ton of artists, ton of drops, and it's like Kendrick slipping my mind was a big thing. And then when I heard that, I was like, damn, 2022 was a huge year for music. Yeah, I think that
like JID's album also, Denzel Curry, man.
Yeah,
they killed it. You know who I'm really looking forward to for this year? This year, I really just I would love an Eminem album, right? Eminem is my favorite artist. I absolutely love him.
Best Eminem song
ever? Sing for the Moment. That is the most beautiful song and just so well put together. It's perfect for me because I also like, my dad was a big fan of like classic rock. So I listened to a lot of like Aerosmith growing up and stuff. Aerosmith always like, I love their older music, you know?
Aerosmith.
So like the fact that Sing for the Moment is Eminem with an Aerosmith sample as the hook and part of the production, it's just a perfect combination. And it's also just a great story. Like that last verse, third verse in Sing for the Moment is my favorite verse of all time. Like it's just so good. So I would love an Eminem album. J. Cole's album, I need a J. Cole album. After the hunger he came out with last year, he didn't put out a single song, I'm pretty sure, of his own. And he's still, you could argue,
I don't think so.
He had one of the best performances out of any artist the whole year.
His features top everything.
His features are insane.
Yeah, great.
His feature with what's name, Bia, the London one, that was pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. His feature on Stick was insane on the Dreamville album, and of course, Of course, Rishi already knows, man. Johnny P's caddy.
Johnny P's caddy, man.
He set the pace for the rest of the year. First, I think it came out like first 2 weeks of the year. It was in January. He came out and dropped Johnny P's caddy. That verse over. He bodied Benny. To body Benny is not easy, man. He came out there, bodied Benny first month of the year, and not a single person topped it out of the next 12 months. I'm telling you, man, J. Cole is in his prime. He is putting out the best material he's ever done. People might not want to believe it. I love 2014 and Forest Hills Drives, but I generally think that when The Fall Off drops, that is going to be his best album. The way he's coming right now is insane. That will be album of the year if it drops.
I agree, man, 100%. I just think he's taking a big step forward with his music right now. And the stuff that he's producing is just like topping off all other albums, man. Like his style of music, like the other people who produce the same style of music, it's unmatched to J. Cole. His flow, his swagger, like just his style as a whole is completely unmatched. And it's the reason why he's my favorite rapper. I can listen to his songs on repeat all day, every day. It doesn't matter. It's just amazing about like the work that he's doing right now, and I'm really excited to see him take another step forward here in 2023. And I'm excited. I'm there for it. I mean, hopefully I get to go to a J. Cole concert.
Yeah. Last album it's been 2 years since his last album, so this is gonna be like a big step for him.
Huge. Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's transition into something that's coming up this weekend. Shall we?
Ooh, it's a big weekend.
Big weekend. And so we have 2 games this weekend. We have the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship. We got the Bengals taking on the Chiefs, and we got the Niners taking on the Eagles. Guys, quickly, man, just give me your picks. Tell me what you guys are thinking. I really want to know. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this for a week. I want to know what you guys are thinking because I have my picks. And be prepared because I've already predicted the Super Bowl winner. I know who's going to win.
All right, man. I can't lie, right? NFC Championship, it's looking scary. It's scary, man. I had 49ers going to the Super Bowl from the beginning. After last week, man, I don't know. Eagles looking scary. They're too much.
38-7.
That is against the Giants, but I'm gonna stick with the 49ers, man. I'm gonna stick with the 49ers, but that's gonna be a great game. And then AFC, we got the rematch of last year, Chiefs Bengals. You know what? I think this year Chiefs beat them. Patrick Mahomes going to the Super Bowl. We're gonna see Chiefs 49ers. We're gonna get a replay of the old Super Bowl from a few years ago. And I think Chiefs win it this year again.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I'm going to go the other way around. AFC first. I honestly, I don't know which to pick. I think they're both great teams. I mean, obviously, I the least know about football in this group, but I think Bengals low-key might have it because versus the Bills last week, they did pretty good. I mean, what do we say that we were thinking was going to win?
It was split. Me and Prem said Bills. You two said Bengals.
I said Bengals.
Yeah.
Rishi predicted all of them right, actually.
Yeah, he got 4 for 4. Yeah. So maybe we gotta try.
The Bills game was the only one I got wrong. I only got the Bills game wrong.
We gotta trust them this week. But yeah, I think Bengals are just in a good position. I think they have they did great last week and they might be riding on it. But I think for the 49ers Eagles game, I think 49ers are still better. I mean, Eagles 38-7 is still a crazy drop, even though it's the Giants. I mean, it's still solid points, but I think 49ers are still going to pull through.
All right. Yeah. So I have my picks already. Okay. On the NFC side of things, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. And I remember what I said last week about Brock Purdy not being the answer. And I'm gonna retract it halfway. I still stand by what I said, but I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. I think Brock Purdy is doing what is expected of him, right? I think he's not doing that much more or not that much less. He's sitting right in that middle ground. But as a rookie, to be doing what he's doing on the highest stage in the NFL, I praise him. I praise him for that. I still don't think he's the answer. I'm excited to see what the 49ers do in the offseason, deciding who's their quarterback going to be, because now they have 3 suitable quarterbacks in probably one of the greatest offensive lineups in the NFL, okay, along with one of the greatest defenses in the NFL. So now the only thing that's standing in their way of going back to back to back is their quarterback. Is it going to be Trey Lance? Is it going to be Jimmy Garoppolo? Is it going to be Brock Purdy? I don't know, because they've all like played like mediocre. I wouldn't say any of them have been exceptional. So you have 3 mediocre quarterbacks to choose from. Who are they going to choose from? I don't know. But I'm thinking back to the last time the Eagles played the 49ers, and I'm pretty sure it was like week 2 of the 2021 season. The 49ers beat the Eagles like 17-11. But that was a different game, man. That was Jimmy Garoppolo's game. That was a good 49ers team. Jalen Hurts was the quarterback, but he wasn't the MVP candidate that you see today. And I think like now that the steps that Hurts has taken as like a runner and a passer, the addition of AJ Brown, Devonta Smith fully developing at receiver, I think they have a whole different game plan that they've taken this season. And along with their offense, their defense has taken great steps this past season. And now, even though San Francisco defense is the best, I think just Jalen Hurts' rushing ability, along with AJ Brown's ability to get contested catches, Devonta Smith's route running, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to beat the 49ers. I think it's going to be a great game. I just don't think Brock Purdy is going to show up on the highest stage. Right. And now moving on to the AFC side of things, I'm sticking with my pick from last week. I'm going with the Bengals this week. Mahomes is at 60%, right? Their receiver core is good. Their defense is good as well, but it can be better, right? But there's a reason they call it Burrowhead Stadium, okay? Patrick Mahomes hasn't beaten Joe Burrow in like over a year and a half, man. Joe Cool, Joe whatever you want to call him. He's not losing this game. They have one of the best receiver cores. Their offensive line is questionable, but when you have Joe Burrow at quarterback, you're not losing. The Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. They're going to play the Eagles, and they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. They're going to get revenge for when they lost to the Rams. And you guys all heard it here first.
Damn. So we got Rishi with Eagles, Bengals. We got Ari with 49ers, Chiefs. And then I got 49ers, Bengals. We all have different picks. We all have different picks.
So this is going to be an interesting week.
It's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah.
He's going to get it right.
Very interesting week.
I'm teetering slightly on each side. I've got 50 on each side. I'm one of my picks is the same as Rishi. One of my picks is the same as Ari. But you two are just clashing heads. Damn.
Ari, what do we say? Shall we make a little wager just to make this interesting?
Hey, maybe first give me my $5, man. Maybe first give me my $5.
All right.
I mean, I don't like anything big,
hey,
like 50 cents, $1. Let's make a little wager to make it interesting.
Hear me out.
You know?
If Rishi wins, the $5 null and void. If he loses, it's the 10. Double or nothing.
Okay. Whoa, 7.
Double or nothing? I'll go double
7,
or nothing.
not double or nothing.
Not double. I'll go double.
The odds are different now. These are different odds that we're playing against here. Okay, who do you guys
actually? You know what? Yeah. You know what? I'll do $3 just because if neither of us win, then I still have to get my 5. You know.
Yeah.
So either way, you're somewhat losing. There's more chances where you still lose money. So I'll take $3.
Okay. I'm okay with that. So if I win,
we're messing with big money here, guys, man. $3 on the line. It's a big weekend, man.
Yo, if only you were doing it with 3 Rajus. You don't understand. 3 Rajus.
3
Rajus would run you
how many
dry.
How many Roger coins are wagering, man?
Yo, I personally own I am actually the highest equity owner in Raju Coin. So
you kidding me? Do you know who owns Raju Coin? Where do you think those
Cumulative Games, man? Cumulative Incorporated, actually.
Okay, and
shout out
financial. I'll be financial advisor for Cumulative Games.
Okay, but I am Cumulative Games, man. You know that. I'm the creator of Cumulative Games.
And I'm the creator of Raju.
Okay, so 50-50 split.
I own the coin. Okay, 50-50 split.
Okay, deal.
We're letting Ari run. We're letting Ari run without it.
It's settled. It's settled. Here on Famous Chili, man. Big bets. 1,000 Raju coin on the line, equivalent of $3. We'll see next week who wins, man.
I know. I'm so excited for this weekend, man. Like I've been so excited for this game all week. It's the only thing I've been looking forward to all week. Aside from this podcast, obviously, this podcast is like
podcast is number one
priority. But this game is going to be interesting, man. I'm really excited.
Tomorrow, 2 p.m. first game.
Tomorrow, 2 p.m. We're there.
2 p.m. for me.
2 p.m. for you, man.
2 p.m. for
Let
me.
me know what the viewers think. Shall we do a watch party one time in the future? Maybe next NFL season? What do you guys think? You know,
I think that would be fun for next season, man.
That would be fun for next season. That would be fun for
That'd
next
be
season.
fun.
Leave a comment if you guys
Yeah,
think that we should do
yeah.
that for next season. We're gonna become the Manning trio, I guess. Quadruplets now. Actually, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, guys. This was fun. Another great episode, man. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Never miss an upload. We're posting daily clips, daily shorts, daily TikToks. Check out our TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace out.